an appeal to them to find their own way to compromise, to find their own way out of the current deadlock that no voter is happy with.
Today, France and Kosovo stand side by side, united not only by history, but by a friendship grounded in shared values.
We know that EU membership is not a political reward, but a great responsibility. And we are ready to take this responsibility.
I'm very pleased and proud of the work carried out by the French Development Agency, AFD, which has already developed some very ambitious projects in its 18-month presence in Kosovo. 2 memorandums of understanding have been signed between AFD and ministries, one of them just today, dear Daulina. And I look forward to finalizing this work for amounts running into tens of millions of euros. And this brings me to my second message, formulated with the utmost respect to the political leaders of Kosovo, to sign these agreements and ratify them. We need an assembly and we need a government with a parliamentary backing. The governments that are friends of Kosovo, including the French government that I'm speaking on behalf of, need partner to help Kosovo on the road to European integration. And European integration requires progress in the dialogue facilitated by the EU. So allow me, dear guests, to launch an appeal to all political leaders, without exception, whatever their party, whatever the community they represent, an appeal to them to find their own way to compromise, to find their own way out of the current deadlock that no voter is happy with. An appeal to them to find ways of ensuring that Kosovo's institutions function in an inclusive manner. France has been, is, and will be at the side of Kosovo in all its diversity, alongside all the communities that make up Kosovo. Over the past year, the embassy stepped up its activities with civil society. In particular, we have continued our work in support of feminist NGOs. And I'm not afraid of the word feminist, because France is conducting feminist diplomacy throughout the world. Minister Jean-Noël Barrot reminded the French Parliament of this very recently. Over the last 4 years, France has been one of the main international donors in this field, supporting 1,400 NGOs. Our action here in Kosovo is part of a global effort based on the dignity of the individual, regardless of sex, regardless of religion or belief, regardless of membership in a community or of sexual orientation.
One of the most defining moments in your nation's history, the storming of the Bastille in 1789, and the birth of ideals that have inspired generations, not just in France, but around the world: liberty, equality, and fraternity. It remains one of the brightest days in European history. It was a day when the walls of tyranny were torn down and the gates of hope opened toward a freer world. It marked a turning point when the voice of the people reshaped the course of history. A day that placed the individual at the heart of history and reminds us that no force can ever extinguish the human aspiration for freedom. The people of Kosovo too have walked a bitter and arduous path towards freedom and independence. Along that journey, part of the burden was carried by our founding father, the historic President Dr. Ibrahim Rugova, an intellectual shaped in Paris, a student of Roland Barthes, and later awarded the title of Doctor Honoris Causa by the University of Paris 8. Rugova brought to Kosovo the French spirit, the power of the word, of the critical thought, and of peace. Today, France and Kosovo stand side by side, united not only by history, but by a friendship grounded in shared values. And today, as France celebrates, we celebrate with you too, because freedom is humanity's greatest treasure.
This date is not only a commemoration of the past, it is a continual anniversary of freedom, of humanity's struggle for justice, and of the birth of modern citizenship. Kosovo as a new republic was born in the spirit of these ideals. We have chosen the path of democracy, rule of law, and human rights, not only because it is the most just path, but because it is the path that makes the country worthy of its citizens and a credible partner to its friends. On this path, which is a journey toward Europe, toward the European Union, Kosovo has been and remains committed. We know that EU membership is not a political reward, but a great responsibility. And we are ready to take this responsibility because Europe is not only an economic area, it is an ethical project, a community of values that sees the citizen not only as a number that counts, but as a subject of justice. We are well aware of the obstacles and the skepticism and the complicated politics that occasionally dim the path forward. But we do not give up.